Everybody says they want to win, but the truth is, most people don't even know what wanting it actually means. They think wanting success means saying it out loud, posting motivational quotes, or feeling inspired for 5 minutes after a video. That's not hunger, that's fantasy. Real hunger doesn't need to be announced. Real hunger is silent, restless, and relentless. It's a fire that burns inside you every second of every day, whispering one message into your mind: keep going. The difference between the successful and the forgotten isn't who dreams bigger. It's who's willing to bleed longer. You say you want success, but how bad do you really want it? Do you want it bad enough to lose sleep over it? Do you want it bad enough to skip the parties, ignore the distractions, and work in silence when no one's watching? Because that's the test, the hunger test. Everyone wants to eat, but only a few are willing to hunt. The world doesn't care about what you say you want. It watches what you're willing to suffer for. The man who wins isn't the one who's motivated for a week. It's the one who wakes up every morning with that burning question in his chest. What am I doing today to get closer to what I want? Hunger is what separates the weak from the warriors. It's what pushes you to go one more round when your body says stop. It's what keeps you grinding when the world is laughing at your ambition. When Andrew Tate says hunger is the foundation of greatness, he means that everything you achieve in life comes down to how bad you're willing to fight for it. People love to talk about success, but they hate to live the kind of life that success demands. They want the rewards, not the responsibility. They want the spotlight, not the sacrifice. That's why most stay average. They don't have the hunger required to rise above mediocrity. Hunger makes you obsessed. It consumes you. It rewires your brain. When you're hungry enough, you stop making excuses. You stop wasting time. You stop caring about what people think. You start moving differently, speaking differently, working differently. Every moment becomes a mission. You start seeing opportunities where others see obstacles. You start seeing lessons where others see losses. Because when you're hungry, failure doesn't stop you. It feeds you. Every setback becomes another reason to push harder. You stop asking for motivation because the fire inside you burns too strong to ever go out. Most people want success until it demands effort. They want to be millionaires until it requires years of grinding. They want freedom until they realize how much discipline it takes. But the truth is, you don't deserve what you're not willing to suffer for. If you're not ready to sacrifice sleep, comfort, and ease, you're not ready to win. Hunger doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care if you're tired, stressed, or uncomfortable. It just asks one question: are you still going to show up? Because the man who keeps showing up, even when everything hurts, is the man who gets everything he wants. When you're truly hungry, you don't need validation. You don't need applause. You don't need anyone to believe in you because you already do. You start building quietly, training privately, growing silently, and when you finally arrive, the world will call it sudden. But you'll know it was years of hunger finally rewarded. That's what people don't understand. Success doesn't come to the loud, it comes to the consistent. The loud ones want attention, the hungry ones want results. Look at every man who's ever built something great. He was driven by hunger, not comfort. Hunger made him disciplined when no one cared. Hunger made him fearless when everything seemed impossible. Hunger made him dangerous because he refused to settle. You can't fake hunger. You can't pretend to be desperate for success. Either you're starving for it or you're not. And if you're not, you'll lose to the man who is. The man who wakes up every day with nothing but fire in his chest and a goal in his head will always outrun the man who's comfortable being average. The hunger test doesn't care about talent or intelligence. It doesn't care where you come from or what you have. It only cares about how bad you want it. Because if you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. You'll learn what you need to learn, you'll do what you need to do, and you'll never quit until you have it. That's the difference between those who talk about success and those who actually build it. Hunger is not something you can teach. It's something you develop when you get sick of losing, sick of being broke, sick of being average. It's when you finally look in the mirror and decide that no matter how hard it gets, you're not stopping until you win. Comfort is the slow poison that kills ambition. It doesn't destroy you overnight. It sneaks in quietly, making you soft, making you lazy, making you forget what it feels like to fight. It tells you you've done enough today when you haven't. It whispers you deserve to rest when you haven't earned it. Comfort convinces you that tomorrow is guaranteed, that you can always start later, that you've got time. But you don't. Comfort is a liar, and it's the reason most people never live the life they dream about. Because every time you choose comfort, you choose weakness. And weakness spreads. It eats your discipline, your drive, your hunger, until you wake up one day realizing you've wasted years doing nothing. Andrew Tate says comfort is the enemy because it blinds you. You start to believe that being okay is enough. You stop chasing greatness because being average doesn't feel that bad. You stop fighting for your future because your present doesn't hurt enough. That's how comfort traps you. It's not that your life is terrible. It's that it's just good enough for you to stay still. You've got a bed, a phone, food in the fridge, and Wi-Fi. So you convince yourself you're doing fine, but deep down, you know you're not living up to your potential. You know you're capable of more, but comfort has you on a leash. You see, the world doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't care about your dreams or your comfort zone. The world rewards pain, effort, and action. Every man who's built something meaningful has done it through discomfort. He trained when he didn't feel like it. He worked when he was tired. He sacrificed when it hurt. And that's why he's where he is. Meanwhile, the ones who keep choosing comfort keep falling behind, wondering why life feels unfair. It's not unfair, it's just honest. You get what you earn. You get what you fight for. And if you're not fighting, you're losing. Comfort kills focus. It tricks you into thinking you're productive because you've done a little. You go to the gym once, read a few pages, do some light work, and convince yourself you've earned rest. But hunger doesn't rest. Discipline doesn't take breaks. If you want to build a life of power, you can't live like the average man. You can't spend your time chasing entertainment while calling it balance. The truth is, balance is a myth when you're still trying to win. You can balance later after you've built something worth protecting. Right now, your only priority should be growth. Every time you choose comfort, remember that someone else is choosing pain, and that someone will beat you. There's a man out there grinding harder, learning faster, pushing further because he refuses to let comfort control him. While you're scrolling on your phone, he's building his empire. While you're sleeping in, he's making moves. While you're relaxing, he's preparing to take your spot. That's how the world works. It rewards those who stay hungry and punishes those who settle. You need to start training yourself to be uncomfortable. Wake up earlier than you want to. Work harder than you think you can. Put yourself in situations that test your limits. Because every time you step outside your comfort zone, you get stronger. You start building the kind of resilience that most people don't have. Comfort makes you soft, pressure makes you sharp. And in this world, only the sharp survive. The problem is people run from struggle like it's a disease. They avoid pain, avoid challenge, avoid risk. But every time you avoid struggle, you avoid growth. Growth doesn't happen in comfort, it happens in chaos. You have to face pressure, stress, and failure to evolve. Every rep in the gym, every long night building your business, every moment you push through exhaustion, it all adds up. It's all part of the process of becoming unstoppable. But if you run back to comfort every time things get hard, you'll never change. The harsh truth is that comfort is addictive. The more you have it, the more you crave it. And the more you crave it, the weaker you become. You have to starve that addiction. You have to train your mind to crave discomfort instead. You have to get to a point where doing what's easy feels disgusting to you. That's how you rewire your brain for success. You start associating pain with progress and comfort with decay. So ask yourself right now, when was the last time you were truly uncomfortable? When was the last time you pushed yourself to the edge? When was the last time you felt that burn in your chest, that exhaustion in your body, that moment when you wanted to quit but didn't? That's the feeling you should chase every single day. Because comfort will give you a temporary feeling of satisfaction, but discomfort will give you a permanent sense of achievement. Comfort will always be there, waiting to pull you back into mediocrity. It's easy to sit down, relax, and tell yourself you'll start later. But later becomes never. And once you let comfort control you, it doesn't stop, it owns you. That's why the truly hungry men never allow themselves to get too comfortable. They understand that comfort kills kings. It steals their hunger, their fire, their purpose. So they live like warriors, always chasing more, always uncomfortable, always hungry. You've got to understand something about success. It's not about luck, it's about obsession. People who win in life, who dominate their field, who rise above everyone else, they're not casually interested in success, they're possessed by it. They wake up thinking about it, they go to sleep thinking about it, and every move they make during the day is aimed at getting closer to it. Meanwhile, most people are dabbling. They kind of want to be successful, but not enough to sacrifice their comfort. They kind of want to win, but not enough to give up distractions. That's why they stay stuck, because wanting it isn't enough. You have to need it. You have to breathe it, bleed for it, and refuse to live without it. Andrew Tate says you can't be half hungry. You're either starving for success or you're full of excuses. There's no middle ground. The man who wants to win doesn't care how tired he is, how long it takes, or how hard it gets. He just keeps going. Because when you want something bad enough, pain becomes irrelevant. Sleep becomes optional. Comfort becomes meaningless. All that matters is progress. That's what separates the top 1% from the rest. They have an unstoppable desire that fuels them every single day. You've got to realize your desire has to outweigh your distractions. Everyone wants to be rich, fit, and respected, but very few are willing to do what it takes. People say they want success, then spend hours scrolling through social media, watching other people live the life they dream of. They waste time complaining, comparing, and convincing themselves that it's impossible. That's not hunger. That's laziness disguised as ambition. Hunger means you can't sit still knowing you haven't earned it yet. Hunger means you look at your bank account and feel disgusted, not content. Hunger means you're willing to miss parties, sleep, and comfort because your mission is bigger than your emotions. If you're not obsessed with your goals, someone else will be, and they'll take everything you wanted. The world rewards the ones who outwork everyone else. It doesn't care about how talented you are. It cares about how consistent you are. You might have potential, but if you don't act on it, it's useless. Every day you waste, someone else is moving ahead of you. That's the truth most people don't want to face. You can't be lazy and expect life to hand you freedom. You've got to go out there and take it. When you want something badly enough, you don't make excuses. You make adjustments. You stop saying, "I don't have time," and you start saying, "I'll make time." You stop waiting for motivation and start relying on discipline. Because hunger isn't about feeling inspired, it's about being relentless. It's about doing it even when you don't feel like it. That's how winners are made. They act regardless of their emotions. They've trained their minds to chase progress, not comfort. And let me tell you something, no one's gonna hand you success. No one's gonna knock on your door and say, "Congratulations, here's your dream life." It doesn't work that way. You've got to take it. You've got to fight for it like your life depends on it. Because in a way, it does. Every day you waste in comfort, you're losing a day you'll never get back. That's why the truly hungry don't stop. They don't rest. They don't take days off because they understand that time is the most valuable asset they have. And once it's gone forever. Hunger isn't glamorous. It's painful. It's long nights, early mornings, constant pressure, and moments of doubt. But that's where greatness is born. The struggle is the forge that builds character. You don't develop strength when things are easy. You develop it when you're tested. Every time you push through exhaustion, every time you refuse to quit when your body screams at you to stop, that's when you evolve. That's when you separate yourself from the average man. You have to get addicted to the grind. You have to find pleasure in the process, not just the reward. Because if you only chase the end goal, you'll give up before you reach it. But if you learn to love the discipline, the hard work, the daily progress, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of person who doesn't need validation, doesn't need motivation, doesn't need anyone to believe in them. Because your hunger drives you more than any external reward ever could. Look around. The people you admire, the ones living the life you want, they're not lucky. They're hungry. They worked when others rested. They learned when others distracted themselves. They sacrificed what was easy to earn what was valuable. They made the decision to stay hungry. And that's the difference. You can either be the person who watches others win or the person others watch because you won. The difference isn't talent, it's hunger. Hunger makes the impossible possible. Hunger is what turns dreams into reality. Hunger is the fuel of kings. Most people have no idea how much time they waste. They wake up late, scroll through their phones, spend hours doing things that don't matter, and then complain that life isn't fair. Let me tell you something. Life doesn't reward the distracted. It rewards the disciplined. You can't expect to live an extraordinary life when your habits are ordinary. The man who controls his time controls his destiny. Every second you waste is a second someone else is using to get ahead of you. The difference between a man who wins and a man who stays broke isn't luck. It's what they do with their 24 hours. Everyone gets the same time, but not everyone values it the same way. Andrew Tate says it clearly. Time is the ultimate currency. You can lose money and earn it back. You can lose energy and recover it. But when you lose time, it's gone forever. The clock doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care if you're tired, if you're sad, or if life's unfair. It just keeps ticking. Every tick is a reminder that you're running out of chances. You think you have time, but you don't. Time is your most ruthless enemy and your most powerful weapon, depending on how you use it. If you're not building something every single day, you're decaying. Life doesn't stay still. It either moves forward or falls apart. Most people don't realize that by doing nothing, they're choosing failure. Because inaction is the easiest path to mediocrity. You can't sit around waiting for the perfect moment because it doesn't exist. The perfect time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. The world doesn't care about your plans. It only cares about your results. So if you're not making progress, you're falling behind. Think about it. Every moment you waste on meaningless things is a moment stolen from your future. While you're watching another video, someone else is working on their business. While you're complaining about being broke, someone else is learning a new skill. While you're saying, maybe tomorrow, someone else is saying, I'll do it now. That's how you lose. Not because you're less talented, not because you're less capable, but because you value comfort more than growth. The truth is, the world doesn't owe you anything. It's not going to hand you success just because you want it. You have to take it. And the only way to take it is by owning your time. Every successful person you see today made one powerful decision. They decided to stop wasting time. They understood that every hour counts, every task matters, and every habit compounds. They built momentum, and once momentum takes over, success becomes inevitable. You have to train your mind to see time as gold. Guard it, protect it, and invest it wisely. Don't waste your mornings sleeping in when you could be building your empire. Don't waste your nights watching other people live their dreams while yours are rotting in your mind. Every time you tell yourself just 5 more minutes, you're choosing weakness over purpose. You're trading your potential for comfort. And that's a trade only losers make. Success isn't about doing extraordinary things. It's about doing ordinary things with discipline every single day. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about turning your schedule into a weapon. Most people live reactively. They respond to whatever comes their way. The winners live proactively. They control their environment, their emotions, and their actions. They decide how their day will go, not the other way around. That's how you take ownership of your life. Imagine what your life would look like if you stopped wasting just 2 hours a day. That's 60 hours a month. That's 120 hours a year. That's a full month of your life every year being thrown away. A month that could have built your business, transformed your body, improved your mindset. But instead, it's gone, spent on nothing. If that doesn't wake you up, nothing will. You can't complain about not being successful when you waste the very thing success demands: time. Andrew Tate always says, if you want to own your life, start by mastering your schedule. Discipline creates freedom. People think freedom means doing whatever you want whenever you want. But that's not freedom. That's chaos. Real freedom comes when you've built something solid enough that your time works for you, when your assets make money while you sleep, when your habits are aligned with your purpose, when you've turned your time into power. Time is the foundation of success. How you spend it determines who you become. Every hour should move you closer to your goals. Every day should build momentum. Every decision should either make you richer, stronger, or smarter. And if it doesn't, it's a distraction. Winners know this. Losers ignore it. That's why the difference between success and failure often comes down to something so simple, so brutal, and so real. How much of your time are you willing to own? And how much of it are you still willing to waste? The reason most people stay broke, stuck, and miserable isn't because they're unlucky. It's because they don't understand leverage. They trade all of their time for money and never build anything that earns while they sleep. They work their entire lives just to survive instead of building something that buys their freedom. That's the trap the system wants you in. They want you exhausted, distracted, and dependent. Because if you're too busy working to pay bills, you'll never have time to think about building wealth. You'll never question why you're working so hard just to stay in the same place. Andrew Tate says it perfectly: the man who doesn't own assets doesn't own his life. Because as long as your income depends on your time, you'll always be someone else's property. Think about it. You wake up early, drag yourself through traffic, work for someone else's dream, and by the time you get home, you're too tired to work on your own. Then you repeat it tomorrow. That's not living, that's surviving. You're not free if your entire life revolves around a paycheck. Freedom comes when your money starts working for you instead of you working for it. That's what assets do. They give you leverage, they give you power, they give you time. And time is the most valuable currency in existence. Most people waste years chasing raises and promotions, hoping to slowly climb the ladder. But here's the truth. The ladder itself is the trap. You can't climb your way to freedom in someone else's system. You have to build your own. You have to think like a producer, not a consumer. The man who produces value owns the system. The man who consumes value stays trapped inside it. And the longer you stay in that cycle, the harder it becomes to escape. Building assets isn't just about money, it's about control. It's about owning your choices. When you have assets, you can walk away from toxic situations. You can say no to disrespect. You can live life on your terms. But when you have nothing, you're forced to tolerate everything. You're forced to obey. That's why freedom begins with ownership. You need to own something that earns when you don't. Whether it's a business, a brand, real estate, digital products, whatever it is, it must give you leverage over time. Andrew Tate talks about this all the time. Financial freedom isn't about being rich for the sake of it. It's about escaping control. Because when you're broke, everyone controls you. Your boss, your landlord, the government. Every decision you make is influenced by money you don't have. But when you're financially independent, you stop asking for permission. You start dictating your own reality. You become untouchable. You've got to shift your mindset from spending to building. Every dollar you earn is either a soldier that works for you or one that dies for nothing. The broke man spends his money on pleasure. The rich man invests it in assets that multiply. Every time you waste money on something temporary, you're feeding the system that keeps you broke. Every time you invest in an asset, you're taking one step closer to freedom. That's the difference between consumption and creation. The world rewards builders. The internet has made it easier than ever to create something valuable. You can build an online business, a brand, a following, a product, anything that scales. But most people don't because it takes effort. They'd rather stay comfortable working for someone else's dream than endure the pain of building their own. That's why only a few escape the matrix. They're the ones willing to endure short-term struggle for long-term freedom. If you want to change your life, you have to start building things that make money without you. Because time is limited, and the older you get, the more you'll regret every hour you spent working for someone else. You can't buy back time, but you can build systems that pay you for it. That's the essence of wealth creation. It's not about having millions in the bank. It's about having income that doesn't require your presence. It's about buying freedom one asset at a time. When you build assets, you're no longer trading hours for dollars. You're trading strategy for power. You start looking at money differently. You stop asking, how much can I earn? And start asking, how can I make money work for me? That's the mindset that separates the free from the enslaved. Because every wealthy man understands that money is just a tool, not the goal. The goal is control over your time, your choices, and your future. So when you look at your life right now, ask yourself, what are you building? What do you own that generates income even when you sleep? If the answer is nothing, then you're still in the system's trap. You're still a worker, not an owner. And as long as that's true, your freedom will always be rented, never owned. The moment you start building assets, even small ones, you begin taking back power. You start rewriting your story. Because true wealth isn't measured in money. It's measured in how much of your life belongs to you. You have to understand something very clearly. Success doesn't come to those who hope for it. It comes to those who demand it from themselves. The truth is, nobody's coming to save you. No one's going to give you permission to win. You have to make a decision to take control of your life and refuse to live like everyone else. Because everyone else is weak. Everyone else is distracted. Everyone else is addicted to comfort. And that's exactly why they'll never rise above average. Andrew Tate says it all the time. The world is full of men who could have been great, but they chose to stay comfortable. They chose the easy route, the soft path, the one that required no pain. And that's why their lives look exactly the same 10 years later. If you want to own your life, you have to make a declaration that enough is enough. Enough wasting time, enough complaining, enough waiting for motivation. You need to build discipline so hard it becomes your identity. Discipline is the foundation of power. It's what allows you to do what needs to be done long after the feeling to do it is gone. Everyone can work hard for a week, but the man who works hard every day, whether he feels like it or not, that's the man who wins. You must program your mind to operate with purpose, not emotion. The moment you let emotions control you, you lose. Because emotions make you weak, but discipline makes you unstoppable. Owning your life means taking full responsibility for everything in it. No more excuses, no more blaming, no more pointing fingers. You are exactly where you deserve to be because of your decisions. Harsh, yes, but true. The second you accept that, you gain control. You can't change anything you refuse to take responsibility for. The reason most people never improve is because they always have someone or something to blame. They'll say, it's the economy, it's my boss, it's my parents, it's my luck. But the winners, they never say that. They look at the same challenges, the same obstacles, and say, I'll find a way. That's ownership. That's power. The world respects results, not reasons. You can have a list of excuses a mile long and no one will care. Because the only thing that matters is what you produce. The moment you stop explaining why you can't and start figuring out how you can, everything changes. You'll realize how much control you actually have. You'll see that your time, your mind, your energy, all of it can be redirected into building the life you want. But first, you have to stop giving it away so cheaply. Stop wasting it on people, habits, and distractions that don't serve your mission. Andrew Tate always says, the easiest way to spot weakness is through inaction. A weak man knows exactly what he needs to do, but he won't do it. He'll make plans, talk big, and procrastinate. A strong man doesn't talk, he executes. He moves quietly, with intent, and doesn't stop until it's done. If you want to level up, start keeping promises to yourself. Every time you say you'll do something, do it. Every time you set a goal, hit it. Because that's how confidence is built. By proving to yourself that your words mean something. You become dangerous when your discipline is stronger than your emotions. Taking control of your life isn't a one-time decision. It's a daily battle. Every morning you wake up, you have a choice: stay weak or grow stronger. Stay the same or level up. And every day you choose weakness, you dig a deeper hole. Every day you choose discipline, you build another layer of strength. That's how transformation happens, not overnight, but over time through consistent, relentless action. You're not supposed to feel ready. You're supposed to act even when you're scared, tired, or unsure, because that's where real growth happens outside of comfort. Owning your life means cutting off every excuse, every distraction, every person that doesn't align with your mission. It's not selfish, it's necessary. You can't save anyone else if you haven't saved yourself. You can't lead others if you can't lead yourself. The reason most people never reach their potential is because they care too much about being liked and too little about being respected. Stop seeking validation. Stop explaining your grind. Just work. Just produce. Let your results make the noise. The truth is, life will only respect you when you start respecting yourself. And self-respect comes from discipline, focus, and consistency. You build it by saying no to weakness, no to comfort, no to the voice in your head that says, take it easy. Every time you overcome that voice, you strengthen your mindset. And a strong mindset is the foundation of everything. When your mind is unshakable, nothing can break you. No setback, no loss, no rejection. Because you'll know that no matter what happens, you'll keep moving forward. Andrew Tate says it best. You can't control the world, but you can control yourself. You can control your work ethic, your mindset, your actions, and your response to adversity. That's true power. Once you stop reacting to life and start directing it, you become unstoppable. You're no longer a product of your circumstances. You become the architect of your future. And that's what it means to own your life. It's not about being lucky, it's about being relentless. It's about refusing to let weakness define you. Because the day you take full responsibility for everything, the wins, the losses, the pain, the progress, is the day you finally start living like a man in control. Every man has two choices in life: to stay the same or to evolve, to keep making excuses or to take absolute control. The difference between those who win and those who lose isn't intelligence, talent, or luck. It's discipline, hunger, and ownership. The man who builds his life brick by brick, who refuses to waste a single second, who invests every drop of his energy into growth, that man becomes unstoppable. Andrew Tate teaches that freedom isn't found in comfort, it's earned through control. Control of your mind, your habits, your money, your time, and ultimately, your destiny. This entire journey is about becoming the kind of person who doesn't need motivation to move, who doesn't rely on external approval, who doesn't wait for the right moment. You create your moment. You make your opportunities. You fight for your vision like your life depends on it, because it does. Time is slipping away, and every second you delay is a second stolen from your potential. The world belongs to those who act. The ones who choose pain over comfort, progress over excuses, purpose over pleasure. So the question is simple. How bad do you want it? Because if you truly want freedom, power, and success, you have to earn them through discipline and consistency. You have to build assets that buy your time back. You have to treat every day like it's your last chance to make something of yourself. Stop waiting. Stop wasting. Start owning. Because in the end, no one's coming to rescue you. It's you versus you. And the man who conquers himself, his weakness, his fear, his laziness, is the man who conquers the world.